Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Dr. Munira Hussain from Mata Jijabai Government Girls PG College, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Today I am going to talk on the module Recipes with Meat, Poultry and Fish from paper Food Science. Dear students, in cooking meat require special understanding and specific choice of preparation methods. Normally, we refer mutton for goat meat and chicken basically refers the poultry meat. The objectives of this module are to know about the basic principles of recipes with meat, poultry and fish, to identify the methods of meat poultry cooking, to learn the application of meat cookery. So students, let's start with the basics of recipes with meat, poultry and fish. Meat can be prepared by numerous cooking methods, right from roasting to grilling or broiling to stewing. However, there are 5 basic principles pertaining to the vast majority of meat recipes as well as to most poultry recipes too. Normally cooked meat is eaten. Cooking of meat brings forth 4 main changes that are: it improves the meat's flavor, changes its color, make it more tender, destroys harmful organisms. Students, let's take a look on the principles of meat cookery in brief. Meat and poultry is cooked to improve the quality, to get variety of meals, poultry and to improve the appeal of meat. There are few points which should be kept in mind, that are: in some fat it all meats, poultry and fish contains. Some products have more fat in comparison to the other. All meat, poultry and fish must be cooked until the internal thickness part reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. Cooking practices for meat, poultry and other vegetarian products can be divided into those that use moist heat or dry heat. Whenever meat, poultry or fish products are cooked, use ways to reduce the fat content. To understand meat cookery, dear students, firstly I would like to explain in brief the structural makeup of the meat. Basically, meat is made up of connective fibers and juicy muscle cells. The connective tissues are made principally of collagen, which is a tougher protein. Collagen starts breaking down slowly at around 5 degrees Celsius or 12 degrees Fahrenheit. Slightly hotter temperature than that, the muscle cells start to break. So, students, it is important to note that the particular temperature depends on the type of the meat. The juice runs out of it and the meat gets tough. Meat softens up further with lengthens cooking at low temperatures, that promotes breaking down of the collagen and provides the succulent, almost gluey, soft texture common to braised and stewed dishes. The middle ground is where the danger lies. Muscle cells burst before the collagen has completely broken down, leaving with 2 types of toughness. So, the trick is either to catch the meat before the muscle cells ruptures or leave it in the oven for ages until everything reaches an proper softness level. Which method has used will largely dictated by the cut. Now students, I should make you know about the very important point, that some of the effects of heating of meat. Firstly, high heat builds up flavor. Browning creates a remarkable amount of flavor and is a key step in cooking meat. This takes place through a process, namely the Maillard reaction. This reaction occurs when the amino acids and sugars present in the food are subjected to heat, causes them to combine. In turn, hundreds of various flavoring compounds are created. These compounds break down further to form more new flavor compounds. In browning meat, a deep brown sear and a detectable thick crust on all sides is desirable, which could be best obtained by quick cooking over high heat. To make sure the meat browns properly, first ensure the meat is dry before it goes into the pan. For this, patting it thoroughly with paper towel is to be done. This is especially important with previously frozen meat, which often releases a significant amount of water. Secondly, ensuring the pan is too hot by preheating it over high heat until the fat added to the pan is on almost at the smoking point. Finally, make sure not to overcrowd the pan. Leave at least 1/4 inch of space between the pieces of meat. If needed, cook the meat in 2 or 3 batches. Otherwise, the meat is likely to steam instead of brown. Second point is that the low heat to preserve moisture. For large cuts of meat or poultry, low and slow cooking method is better choice. This allows the center to come with desired internal temperature and less risk of overcooking the outer layers. Even cooking does not only benefit of slow roasting, it also helps in decreasing the loss of flavorful juices and fat. In addition, protein shrink less and moisture and fat leaches less when cooked on modest temperatures than when roasted at high heat. Students choosing cooking methods as per the type and the size of the cut is also very important point in meat cookery. The tenderness of meat varies from part to part. The primary goal of slow cooking is to melt collagen part of the connective tissue. In that way, transforming a tough piece of meat into a tender one is achieved. These cuts are always served well done. Tough cuts are generally come from the heavily exercised part of the animal, such as the rump or the shoulder. Respond best to slow cooking methods like barbecuing, pot roasting or stewing. Tender cuts with this connective tissue normally come from parts of the animal that do little exercise, like the loin, an area along the back of the cattle. These cuts respond best to faster dry heat cooking methods such as grilling or roasting. This type of tender cuts are cooked to a specific doneness. Extended cooking length increases moisture loss and can turn those tender cuts tough. Considering carrying over cooking is also important, since the temperature of meat will continue to rise as it rests. This effect called as carry over cooking. So, to get appropriate cooking, meat should be removed from the oven, grill or pan when it is 5 to 10 degrees lower than the desired serving temperature. Carry-over cooking does not apply to poultry and fish because they do not retain heat along with the dense muscle structure in meat. The table explains about the temperature which should be used to determine when to stop the cooking process. Students, let's know about the doneness temperatures of meat and poultry. These doneness temperatures represents the tasting assessment of the doneness of palatability weighed against safety, allowing resting of cooked meat. The rationale of resting meat is to allow the juices which are driven to the center while cooking redistribute themselves equally throughout the meat. As a result, meat that has rested will shed much less juice than straight sliced meat after cooking. This can be seen that if after grilling 4 sticks, slicing 2 immediately into 2 while let rest the other, the sticks that were rested will shed significantly lesser juice than the sticks sliced right after cooking. The meat of the unrested sticks also looked grayer and is not as tender. A thin chop or stick should give a rest of 5 to 10 minutes while a thicker roast requires 15 to 20 minutes. The meat needs to be rested for about 40 minutes before it is carved. Dear students, let's discuss about the hot and fast more expensive cuts of meat such as lamb chops, beef sticks, chicken breast and pork fillets tend not to have much of the tough connective fiber. So, it should be cooked quickly. The juice muscle cells will keep on intact and retain their moisture. The result is a succulent morsel. An experienced person can tell when the meat is ready by pressing it. If it feels firmer, the more cooked is required. As a rough guide, when the piece pressed by index finger to the ball of the thumb on the same hand, that is what rare meat feels like. When press it with little finger, that is what well cooked meat feels like. To learn assessment of meat doneness through pressing techniques takes time and experience, though trials and errors. Through trials and errors, putting a meat thermometer into the thickest part of the cut can ensure that it done right every time. The best ones have a wire inserted to the probe that goes into the oven, so can look at the temperature without taking out the meat from oven every time to check the doneness. Students, now we shall go through the cooking of low and slow cheaper cuts of meat. Lamb shoulder, pork belly, ox cheek, for example, have higher proportions of connective tissues, so they need longer cooking time. Generally, this means putting the cut in a casserole type dish with assorted vegetables and a liberal quantity of wine or stock and putting it in a low oven for up to 2 and 4 hours or longer as long as oven is gentle enough. We'll do a whole day's work while it cooks. So students, I hope you have understood about the structure, variations in different cuts of the meat and their cooking behaviors. Now I shall explain some basic methods of cooking meat in poultry. In general, there are two basic methods of cooking meats. These are moist heat method and dry heat method. It is imperative to select the proper cooking method as per the cut of the meat. Less tender cuts of meat needs moist heat cooking methods, which helps to break down of the tough connective tissues. Moist heat cooking implies adding moisture to the meat and then cooking it slowly over a longer period of time. It includes braising and cooking in liquid such as stewing or other slow cooker steamed recipes. Tender cuts of meat do not require moisture and longer time. Slow cooking, they are usually cooked using a dry heat method including roasting, grilling, broiling, pan broiling, pan frying, etc. Students, it is imperative that the method chosen to cook a definite cut of meat should be related directly to the intrinsic tenderness of that cut. Tenderness is assessed by the body part of the animal where meat has taken, the degree of marbling or the presence of visible fats, the age of the animal, how the meat was kept or stored, and how the meat was prepared for marketing. Dear students, it is not tough to assess the cooking behavior of the different cuts of meat. In general, cut from the loin section is tenderest and the body part farther away from the section, the meat will be less tender. Now I shall make you understand about the cooking tender cuts of the meat, which mainly involves roasting. Roasting is a cooking method in which meat is surrounded and cooked by hot air, usually in an oven. Meat is not covered and also no water is added. Normally steps followed are: 1. Place meat in a shallow open rack for roasting pan, keeping fat aside up on the rack. 2. Season as desired. 3. Insert meat thermometer in such a way that its tip does not rest in fat or on a bone. 4. Do not add water or do not cover. 5. Roast in a slow oven at 325 degrees Celsius until the thermometer shows the desired doneness. 6. Baste with drippings all through cooking. Furthermore, students, to taste the doneness of the meat, a thermometer should not be used. The internal temperature shows exactly how done the meat is. Roasting time should also be checked. The more tender cuts of the meat would remain tender if cooked to rare rather than well done stage. On the other hand, less tender cuts may become more tender if cooked to medium or well done stage instead of rare level. Students, this is all about roasting. Now we learn about the another important method, that is broiling. Pan broiling or pan frying, The basic rule for broiling, pan broiling and pan frying meat is to use enough heat to brown the outside without being overcooked inside of the meat. A moderate temperature is most excellent for broiling and frying meat. Broiling is a cooking by direct heat on a flame, electric unit or glowing coals. Meat is cooked one side at a time in broiling. Tender beef sticks, lamb chops, cured ham slices and bacon is used for broiling. Use sticks or chops cut 1 to 2 inches thick. If chops or sticks are less than 1 inch thick, pan broiling them. Consult the manufacturer's instructions for broiling since equipment varied. As a rule, the door closed when broiling is in a gas range and is left open when broiling in an electric range. First, meat is placed on a rack in a broiler pan. Second, the pan is placed 2 to 5 inches from heat to reassure even cooking. The thicker the cut, the meat should be placed farther from the heating unit. Thirdly, broil one side until browned, season cooked side if desired. Fourth, turn meat cooked second side to desired doneness and until meat is browned. If desired, it can be seasoned further. Pan broiling is cooking meat in an uncovered pan over direct heat. Cooked cut fat of the meat is drained off into the pan. The method is: first, meat is placed in preheated heavy frying pan. Secondly, no oil or water is added and the pan is not covered. Third, meat cooked slowly, turn occasionally and fat is poured off as it accumulates. Then cooking is done to a desired doneness until both sides are browned. Next, seasoning is done if desired. Pan frying. Pan frying is done similar to pan broiling except the meat is cooked in a small amount of fat. At first, a small amount of oil is heated in a skillet over medium heat. Then meat is added when oil is hot. Pan is not covered and it is done occasionally until browned on both sides and done as desired. At last, season it if desired. The easiest way to decide when sticks and small pieces of meat are done in broil pan pantry method is to be checked through the interior color of the meat bone. The color of the internal part will show you the state of cooking. Dear students, in rare stage meat will look reddish pink along with lots of clear red juice. In medium done stage the meat show light pink color and lesser juice. The well done beef look light brown with slightly yellowish juice. Students, now I shall explain the cooking of less tender cuts of meat. It includes a method known as bracing. Bracing is cooking meat in steam trapped and holding it in a covered container or foil wrap. Water or other liquid added to the meat provides the source of the steam, or it may be meat juices. Larger less tender cuts like chuck, grounds and rump are braised as pot roasts. The method is: first meat is browned in a heavy frying pan on all sides in a small amount of oil, while fat is poured off. Second, it is seasoned if desired. Third, a small amount of liquid is added to the meat pan and covered tightly. Fourth, it is cooked in the oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until tender or simmered on top of the range. Cooking in liquid methods. In this method, less tender cuts of meat cooked by covering with liquid and simmering in a covered pan until tender and well done stage arrives. Fifth, meat is browned in a Dutch oven or heavy pan on all sides in a small amount of oil. Fat is poured off. Sixth, seasoned if desired. Enough liquid is added to cover meat completely. Pan is covered tightly. Seventh, it kept on simmering on top of the range or in the oven till tender. Eighth, vegetables are added just long enough before serving is to be cooked. Cooking poultry. Students, now we will discuss about the types of methods used for cooking poultries depend on the bird. Young poultry is best for cooking by roasting, broiling and frying. Older poultry is better suited to be cooked by braising or stewing methods. In any case, slow oven heating is required for tender, juicy, evenly done poultries. Overcooking result in tough dry meat. Broiling of chicken. Chicken broilers is cut in half lengthwise in quarters pieces. Young turkey in quarters are used for fryers or roasters or cut in pieces. Wing tips are folded across back sides of the poultry quarters. Set oven control to boil. Poultry is brushed with 1 tablespoon margarine or butter. Poultry is placed skin side down on rack in broiler pan. The pan is placed so that the heat should remain away from top of chickens at least 7 to 9 inches. Broiling is done approximately for 30 minutes. Salt and pepper is sprinkled. Chicken is turned and brushed with 1 tablespoon of margarine or butter. Broiling for 15 to 25 minutes longer is done till chicken is browned and juices run clear. Poaching is another method in microwave. An easy method to prepare any recipe that calls for cooked chicken is to poaching chicken in the microwave ahead of time and storing it in the freezer. In this way, cooked chicken is available for use in casseroles, salads and sandwiches. 4. Chicken breast halves is pieced by keeping skin side up in a 12 by 8 inches 2-quart microwave safe cooking dish. The thickest portions should be placed towards the outside edges of the dish. Sprinkling lightly with seasoned salt, paprika and pepper can be done if desired. Dish is covered with waxed paper. Microwave on high for 12 to 14 minutes or until it is tender and juices run clear when tasted by prickling with a fork. Chicken either should be used immediately or cooled completely before meat is removed from the bones. Cooked chicken is packaged in freezer bags or containers as per the amounts needed in a recipe. Stored in the refrigerator up to 2 days or in freezer up to 2 months. That's all about the cooking methods of the meat and poultry. So, students, now you are very much clear about all these specific aspects of meat and poultry cooking. Now, I am going to explain one of the recipe named as crispy roasted chicken. This will require a preparation time of 20 minutes, cooking time of 1 hour. The ingredients required are 1 teaspoon kosher salt, half teaspoon crave seeds, half teaspoon dried sage, 1/4 teaspoon fennel seeds, 1/4 teaspoon coriander seeds, 1/4 teaspoon dried rosemary, 2 tablespoons of paprika, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 2 tablespoons all purpose flour, 1 tablespoon onion powder, 5 tablespoons vegetable oil, 1 pound broiler fryer chicken cut in half lengthwise. Methods: preheat oven to 220 degrees Celsius or 425 degrees Fahrenheit in a mortar or spice grinder. Put and combine kosher salt, crave seeds, coriander, sage, fennel and rosemary. Grind all the coarse powder. Transfer mixture of spices into a bowl and add and stir in paprika, flour, garlic powder and onion powder. Mix in vegetable oil and make a smooth paste. Pat chicken halves dry using paper towels and tuck wing tips behind on the bake. Brush ground spices paste onto the chicken halves, coating paste on both sides. Take care to season under wings and legs also. Place chicken halves in roasting pan or baking dish with skin sides up. Leave enough space around chicken so that halves do not touch in between. Roast in a preheated oven till a thermometer inserted is high reads 165 degrees Fahrenheit or 74 degrees Celsius for about 1 hour. Remove from oven and give a rest for 10 minutes before slicing. So, students, I hope you have well understood the methods of the meat and poultry cooking according to their cuts, their type and the different types involved in cooking meat like dry heat method, moist heat method, harder cuts of the meat, softer cuts of the meat, tenderness of the meat and techniques involved in preparing a good recipe from the different cuts of the meat. So, it is the end of this session. I hope you have enjoyed and learned this module well. Thank you very much.